rights activist. He brings a conservative point of view to black issues. His mission: to provide a forum for honest discussions about social issues without the liberal lapdogs shutting down the discussion. Broadcasting from the American Truth Project Studios in beautiful Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. This is Conservative Nation with your host, Jermain Botsio.
Hello, and welcome back to another edition of Conservative Nation with me, your gracious host, Jermain Botsio. And on today's show, you guys know what the deal is. I got the one, the only mind of Jamal. He is another one of these liberal demon slayers, and let me tell you something, he slays very well. How you doing, sir?
Well, as you well know, like I told listeners last night, it is back to MAGA again. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. I know some of y'all think this is just a little small thing. And President Trump, if he runs in 2024, he'll be able to come in, clean it up, and no. What this idiotic moron has done is worse than what President Trump faced in 2016.
This is terrible.
Yes. This man is a disgrace. He has screwed things up horribly. And like you said, double J's, let's get the blasting.
Yup. We get into blasting, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you guys hit that like button. And make sure you share, all right? We're going to get right into it. We got a lot of folks who are coming on in here. We got a lot of VIPs that are watching the show. So we're going to get right into it. Make sure you do your due diligence. Don't treat me like your baby mama. Don't treat me like your ex-husband. Don't treat me like that brother who always call you for money. Don't treat me. I got one of them. Trust me, I do. Anytime I'm trying to get a hold of him when I need him, I can't get a hold of him. But gosh darn it, he can get a hold of me. Ain't that something? My goodness gracious, hit that like button. First one up here, brother. I want to go ahead and speak about a story right now. Let me tell you, that's developing. And it's about a teacher, all right? And I ran this story. I probably was one of the first folks to run this story. You can ask the audience. And it was about a teacher who mocks the American flag. All right, she did a TikTok video. It looks like she got a little purple in her hair. It's a liberal trait. Liberals love to throw purple, blue, some sort of unicorn color in their hair and run off with the mouth. And that's exactly what she did. She threw the unicorn hair on and ran off with the mouth. And right now, it seems like she's in a whole heap of trouble. I want to run this here, teacher who mocks the American flag and has students pledge allegiance to the pride flag. When it comes back, I want to get your take on this. A lot of people are upset about this. And let me tell you something. They have every right to be. Here we go. Make sure you guys share.
Okay, so during third period, we have announcements and they do the Pledge of Allegiance. I always tell my class, stand if you feel like it, don't stand if you feel like it, say the words if you want, don't have to say the words. So my class decided to stand but not say the words. Totally fine. Except for the fact that my room does not have a flag. It used to be there, but I took it down during COVID because it made me uncomfortable. And I packed it away and I don't know where, and I haven't found it yet. But my kid today goes, hey, it's kind of weird that we just stand and then, we say it to nothing. And I'm like, oh, well, I gotta find it. Like, I'm working on it. I got you. In the meantime, I tell this kid, we do have a flag in the class that you can pledge your allegiance to. And he looks around, he goes, oh, that one?
Bow. So here we go once more again We have a liberal running off with the mouth. I want to first ask you, Jamal, why they're so reckless and callous with this type of behavior and thought process. Why do you think they feel comfortable? You get what I'm saying? To behave in disrespect in this manner.
Simply because Republicans are quiet because they don't want to be called racist, bigots, homophobic. And then liberals have empowered these nut jobs. Mm-hmm. Democrats have empowered these nuts. The media have empowered these nuts to where they act like this. This is the example of what happens when these nuts get power and they get people to back them and no one removes them. They need to fire her. Because let me tell you, can you imagine if a Republican, or let's just say a regular Christian, made kids swore allegiance to the Christian flag? Hey, we out of flags. See, this is why I wish and I want Republicans to do get back at you. Now, A lot of people don't like that. A lot of people says,
we have
a lot
to.
of people like to say, well, Jamal, we got to be better than that. We can't. I'm sorry. I'm tired of being
we don't get anywhere doing that, Jamal.
We don't get any. Only time Democrats realize they done stepped in it too far is when Republicans start doing the same thing they doing. And then the news media say, well, that's your only reason. It's because Democrats do it. Yeah. Then they say, we need to calm things down in politics.
Yep. One of the things that me and Anthony Allen spoke about on Sunday when we ran this clip the first time, we spoke about the culture of teachers. She was so callously saying these things, disrespecting the flag, not caring about the people who fought and died for it. And then on top of that, when you look at what's going on in Afghanistan, there's no, how can I say, compassion, right? Mm-hmm. Servicemen have been killed in Afghanistan fighting for her freedom to do this. There's no compassion whatsoever. So this this behavior at this time is not a very good thing to put out. And second of all, the teachers, most of them agree with her. Yep. Let me tell you, the only reason why she's fired right now, ladies and gentlemen, and I want people to understand she is fired, is because of the backlash, right? The backlash of good parents. You see, when you stand up, you can get folks fired. Just like the liberals can get folks fired for nonsense. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, you got to get them fired. She's teaching our children homosexuality and to, in a sense, uplift homosexuality in that type of lifestyle. Last words on this here, Jamal. What do you think about this, though? She had them pledge allegiance to the homosexual flag. There has to be some semblance there. What do you think?
Well, what they're trying to do, they've been trying to push the gay agenda for years. That's what the liberals do. Because, and I'm not trying to be, racist or point out a particular group, but white women,
they do,
have been susceptible for the past few years in trying to be so progressive and so inclusive that they have lost their ever-loving mind.
I'm telling you.
I remember back in 2016, when President Trump won, Michelle Obama and Hillary Clinton attacked white women. Mm-hmm. Calling them, how can you support this misogynistic, blah, 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 blah. Then they start attacking little white girls, saying, it's their job. Because if you look on TV, how many of these little white girls you see on TV saying how they hate to be white, shut up and let black people talk? I'm like, Woman, are you stupid? Do you realize if I dropped you off in the hood with $100 hanging out your back pocket, you would get robbed within 30 seconds?
I'm telling you, with the quickness.
But this woman right here, she's one of those liberal women who feel she's a savior.
Mm-hmm.
She wants everyone to like the gay community. And if you don't like the gay community, you're hurting her feelings and hurting their willow feelings.
Absolutely. You know, this comes down to emotional learning and all this other crap that they're doing.
Yep.
You know, instead of them to be worried about reading, writing, and arithmetic, they're worried about feelings, Jamal. You know, how does 1 + 1 make you feel, Jamal? You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
How do the black letters make you feel, Jamal? You get what I'm saying? This is the type of nonsense our children are dealing with. It's nothing that is based in reality. People who, in a sense, are worried about their genitalia and their sexual preference at this early age, Jamal, end up being misled down the wrong path. They end up being abused, Jamal, early pregnancy, and all sorts of mental problems that come with not being able, in a sense, and ready to take that, maturity step. You get what I'm saying, Jamal? Because not everybody at certain ages are ready to deal with what we call that sexual relationship, right? Dealing with that. A lot of people ain't ready for it. And the way they're pushing it, they're going to be destroying our children's view and the way they deal with these interactions. They'll deal with it in an unhealthy manner. Any last words before we move on here, sir?
First of all, I would like to thank Christian Walker. Thank Christian Walker for her kindness and generosity. Christian Walker, thank you. And, of course, hello to my beautiful Mother Dixie. Mother Dixie, how are you? It feels good that Christian parents stood up and got her fired. Mm-hmm. It's good. It's great. And Christians need to do more, stand up, get them fired, go to the boards. It is sinners that are telling you to be quiet and just pray about it. No, stop just listening to people saying just pray about it. No, get up and do something.
Absolutely.
Pray and do something.
Yeah, I want folks to understand the new gay stuff that is out here, right? It's all a fad. I want you to understand these folks ain't really gay. Jamal, I'll put $1,000 on it. That's why they're able to switch up so fast.
Jermain,
these folks are following the fad, Jamal. A whole bunch of them.
And I'm gonna try to keep it as clean as I can. Okay. If you a man, and once you done crossed two swords in the head,
so they
y'all
playing
some bad baseball, you ain't no coming back. Especially if you done sat there and you done
Jamal, you ain't gotta go there. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, hit that like button. Make sure you share. Jamal, you better stop it. You ain't got to do it. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to my girl, Kristen Walker. Let me go ahead and give her a shout out here. She need 2 of these here. Absolutely. And I also want to go ahead and give a shout out to my guy, Robert Marvin. Robert Marvin took the $5 challenges along with Kristen Walker. Shout out to you. Moving forward, make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you share. All right, we got a lot more to discuss here. I want to speak about a couple in Texas that is gaining a lot of attention, Jamal. This couple in Texas, one of them is a principal, all right, at a high school called Force Black High School in Texas. Apparently, he had a picture of him and his wife, all right, on his social media. It was apparently this picture pissed off a lot of folks. It was a small embrace of him and his wife. It looked like they were about to kiss. They did this photo shoot for an anniversary, all right? And the people at the school have a problem with the picture and his view on CRT. They are saying that he is pushing CRT on the children. So he had two options the school gave him, which was either to remove the social media post of him and his wife, or, he drops from the job. I want to go ahead and get your take on this here. The black high school principal, all right, and we're going to speak about the term black here, is saying that this is racist. So is his white wife. Here we go.
A high school principal in Colleyville says he was ordered to remove this photo of him embracing his wife from social media. Dr. James Whitfield has faced sharp criticism from some parents who are accusing him of teaching critical race theory.
One of those parents also complained about the photo. Dr. Whitfield is only talking to NBC5, and here's our education reporter, Wayne Carter.
It was supposed to be a celebration for Dr. James Whitfield and his family. Whitfield named principal of Colleyville Heritage Middle School 2 years ago. But before he could pop open the champagne, his boss called and asked him to check his email.
And so I kind of looked at my wife like, I don't know what's going on.
He looked online and immediately saw a photo he and his wife took on the beach, a photo shoot by a professional photographer on their anniversary.
I look at the picture and then I look at the words above it, and it says, is this the Dr. Whitfield that we want leading our schools? And I showed my wife, who immediately, she begins to well up, with tears.
What did that mean to you?
I see a black man with a tattoo on his arm.
There's the black man, the tattoo, but also my wife is white. And I would like to believe that there was some universe where that wasn't why he sent that message.
Whitfield, one of the first African-American principals in the district, has been accused online and in board meetings of promoting the belief that white people are inherently racist. It's something he and the district have denied. Stressed over the accusations, Whitfield said he couldn't shake the photo incident from his head.
What did the school district say to you?
They said if you could take it down. And I asked, why? Like, what's wrong with the picture?
What did they say?
It was, hey, we're just trying to avoid, any conflict.
Grapevine Colleyville ISD said in a statement, some of the photos the district received contained poses that are questionable for an educator, especially a principal or administrator. It had nothing to do with race. We wanted to provide a smooth transition for Dr. Whitfield, which is why we advised him of the concern and made a request for the photos to be taken down.
I think it's sweet. He's a happily married man. It's him and his beautiful wife. They have a beautiful family.
Parents from Colleyville Heritage learned of the photo incident in a social media post Whitfield made over the weekend. This mother supports Whitfield fully and says whether race or poses, there was no reason to censor him.
And I chalk it up more to educators are just held to a different standard. Unfortunately, I think it is silly.
Whitfield says he's humbled and regrets he held this in for so long.
I wish I would have had the conviction to say, no, I'm not going to take it down. That's a picture of me and my wife kissing on the beach. There's no reason for me to take that photo down.
A petition in support of Whitfield already has hundreds of signatures. Wayne Carter, NBC5.
Bow. So, you're seeing his white wife. She threw on the cape. She threw on the cape real fast. So, Jamal, He is saying, let's first start here, all right? Let's start with the color aspect, all right? He's saying that this is a color aspect. He's claiming that he's black, all right? He's a half-breed, all right? My son is black and white, okay? I don't look at him as him being black. His hair look like Tarzan. I don't, you get what I'm saying? He looked like a light-skinned Tarzan. I don't know any black folks that look like Tarzan. You get what I'm saying? So it's the hoodwink of the color that liberals do, and we don't check on it. What do you think about this whole story and the color aspect?
Okay, I got to get shots out to that photographer. Because that don't look like them in that picture.
I swear to
I
goodness.
swear that look like them. Somebody did some lying in that picture. Okay? Because if you look at that man, the way because Jermain, we both black. We both.
Yeah, I'll pull it up again.
Look at that.
A high school principal in Colleyville says he was ordered to remove this photo of him embracing.
That Chris going to the jawline and going all the way up. He looks slim in the face. Other dude in the picture look fat. That dude, that principal.
This look like years old.
Thank you. So hold up. When y'all take this picture? Y'all, he said y'all had a professional picture done. Man, y'all look like he 15 snacks away.
Yeah, look at him.
15 snacks away from 300.
Look at his neck. Look how skinny you look.
Look how, that's what I'm saying. That don't look like them. Now, if that was, look at that. That don't look like him.
It don't.
And the dang show don't look like her.
Nope. This look like 15 years ago. Let me go ahead and pull this up. I'm going to pull up the original one, and you'll see. You'll see the family now. You can tell that it was when they were young.
Look at the jawline. Look at his jawline. You can tell he done lost weight. Let me tell y'all something. I'm a fatologist, okay? I'm a fatologist because I'm fat. I'm slightly overweight. I'm a little plump. Okay, so look at his chin. Look at that chin all rounded all out.
Yep.
Look at his neck. Look at her. Now,
So you know that they were trying to finesse. This is an old picture.
Yeah, that's an old picture. Okay, everyone know, and this is something because my wife is a principal. Well, my wife, she's a principal. But when we were dating and she was just an in-school teacher, it was certain things she could not take pictures doing. Like, they can't take pictures of them in bikinis, thongs, and shaking and doing all that. They can get fired. Because as a teacher, you are held to different standards.
There you go.
Okay? You are held to different standards. You are supposed to always maintain a type of, and you in the South, in Texas, a type of
a type
morality.
Of image. Yeah.
Think about this. At one time, they fired Jamal for being pregnant and not married.
There you go. You couldn't be a pregnant single teacher. They wouldn't allow it.
In black schools, they the first one march you out the front door. And in all black schools, especially during segregation, come to school pregnant and you ain't married. That principal gonna have you marching right out the front door. They fired you on the spot. This is just in the South. We don't play that. We want our teachers to be look being moral.
Yeah, look decent, right? Jamal, you want your teacher to be decent.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with that, being decent, and the thing is, these folks here should have at least, thought about this here. Hey, I put it up. I wasn't thinking about this when I, got the job here. I'm sorry. Let me go ahead and take it down. You're at a different position. And
yes.
A lot of the times when you're in the public's eye, right, and you're an organization. And the way he's speaking is he thinks he's only representing himself. He's representing the school and the school district, Jamal. So they want a certain image to be put out. And he has to understand this. He's acting like his mama, crying, oh my God, my picture of my wife and me and my wife kissing? My goodness gracious. I mean, it's on social media. Print the picture. Put it right in front of your home. Right? I mean, my goodness gracious. And then they do the last thing that liberals and dummies always do. They resort back to color, right? Instead of them to, go along with logic, they resort back to their feelings and color. And as you know what she said, right? Because he's a black man, he has a tattoo, right? This is what she said. A tattoo. He has earrings and a tattoo, and he's a black man, and I'm white. And that's the only reason why you guys did this. I believe as well, Jamal, that his view on CRT also, caused a lot of folks to look at him. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because he's in the deep South and you're pushing CRT, saying that white children are inherently bad. I mean, you're going to have very big opposition. Last words on this here, sir.
And you know what the worst thing I hate about this whole CRT, and first of all, before I move any further, RC, my boy RC. Oh, excuse me. I had a Joe Biden moment. I said my boy. RC, to RC out there, thank you for so much what you do. Thank you for your kindness and contribution to the page. You know what? This is just pathetic. That he got hit because he is a principal. Not because he's black.
He's black.
Partially black. And when these people criticize white people and say, oh, how white folk is bad, do they realize half of themselves is white?
There you go.
Or what about their children?
There you go.
I would hate to be around that child when his mama criticized or daddy criticizing to have
he's half
white. He's white.
He's half white, and it's almost as if he's not cognizant that he's half white, Jamal. You get what I'm saying? The man's half gosh darn white. And then he my goodness, it's like Barack Obama. It's like a Colin Kaepernick. Well, Colin Kaepernick is a different story. But Barack Obama, let me tell you. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you share. I need your help. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to two folks who just donated. First shout out I want to go ahead and give is to my girl Pebble Toe. Shout out to you. She goes by Classic Jack on Facebook. Shout out to you. Donated through our PayPal. Sweetheart, hopefully you got your page back. I know how crazy Facebook is. And shout out to my guy, RC. Doing what he does best. Having our back, having our six. Shout out to my guy, RC. Brother in arms. Let me tell you. Brother in arms. Move in on, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you share. Need your help. I want to go ahead and speak about a dramatic cam footage that is showing an officer shot in the neck. Let me tell you something. I want to speak about this. Liberals don't want to speak about these sort of crimes, especially when it involves what we call real black on black. You get what I'm saying? You got a black criminal and a black police officer. This is a prime example, ladies and gentlemen, of how dangerous it is to be a police officer. And, ladies and gentlemen, how dangerous it is dealing with these liberal Negroes that are in the inner city. All right? Let me go ahead and run this when it comes back. I want to get you guys' take. What is making these type of folks behave in this way? Is it the media? Is it the way they have been raised? Or is it something else?
I still say that ain't them, Jermaine. Say that picture. That daggone picture. Nah, bro. Nah, you just ain't take that picture over something and got that fat that quick. Let me tell you about some Twinkie Zingers and cupcakes. At least take a good month of them.
I'm telling you, they're running a finesse game. That's why I tell folks to get out of this color. All this stuff they doing is ridiculous. Here we go.
Stop! Take your hands out your pocket. Take your hands out your pocket. If you don't stop, so I'm gonna tase you. I'm not playing with you. Take your hands out your pocket. Take your hands out your pocket. Take your hands out your pocket. Shut fire! Respect, please tell my family I love them.
Officer Quincy Smith is alive and well, and he joins me now for his first primetime interview since the shooting. So, officer, I can't believe it. That was one of the most harrowing things I've ever seen. Thank God you're doing well. Let me ask you about what was going through your mind when you're approaching this person on the street. What were you doing there specifically, and what was he doing?
Well, when the reason I was there, I was called to a call for service stating that, you know, the gentleman that was described, which you see in the video, was attempting to snatch another customer's groceries as they exited the store. And I went to the store, you know, to talk to the patrons that were there, and they told me the gentleman was standing over there in the by next to a tree.
Right.
And so I noticed him over there, so I went to go approach him and talk to him. He started walking away, and did not listen to any command that I give, you know. So then I, you know, drew my taser because no one said anything about a weapon, and he pretty much just, it's more like he was just ignoring me and walking away. So it was that was the reason why I didn't draw my firearm and drew my taser instead.
And he had his arm basically in his coat, it looked like, for a part of the time.
Yeah.
When did you see that, before or after you drew the taser?
I think I saw it slightly before I drew my taser. I'm not too sure, but I can't really answer that.
Yeah, because his back is to you, so it's really hard to see him.
Yes, yeah, it's hard to see where his hands was at the time. I gave him commands to show his hands because I still didn't know what I had at the time, you know, because usually, you know, as law enforcement officers, we when we sometimes contact people, they just try to ignore us and everything. So I tried to give them every opportunity to, you know, stop and talk to me before the shooting happened. So
yeah, and you had the body cam on, which so now everybody can see the reality of what happened. Where did the bullet hit you?
The bullet hit me in the neck. Well, the first I didn't even know I got shot, you know, 3 or 4 times. Only thing when I was during the time, I heard a bang and I felt the pressure on my neck, and it was enough force to knock me on my back. So yeah, in the first shot, you know, he hit me in the neck.
Wow.
And then, you know, as I was trying to get back to my patrol car for some cover, you know, so I could defend myself, I noticed my left arm was broken, and then I couldn't lift up my right arm. I couldn't move it.
Jeez. Well, Officer Smith, I'm so glad you're okay. And, you know, it's such a dangerous profession that you're in, and you're just making split-second decisions. And I'm just glad you're all right. And now this guy's behind bars for quite some time. So thank you very much for your service. We really appreciate it.
All right. So, Jamal, man, oh, man, we had a black police officer here who looked like he was trying to do his job. He was trying to take care of business, and he was shot 3 or 4 times. Now, he says that he didn't feel the rest of the, you know, the bullets going through, and more than likely it was probably because of the adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
Once you get hit the first time, you're not going to feel the rest. What do you think about this here? True black on black crime. I thought, black folks are really brotherly. Remember all the kumbaya, holding hands, work for black everything. We must follow blacks and everything. What do you think?
What people have to understand, the whole George Floyd fentanyl Freddie. St. George Floyd of the fentanyl Methodist Baptist Church. The whole thing was all about trying to get it so black men can do this. This is what the whole George Floyd movement was about. It's to black men who are more perpetrators of crime.
Yep.
You cannot take away from that. You want to change that? Stop black men from breaking the law. This man sat here, shot that officer. I mean, he's walking away. Hey, let me see your hands. What? If this had been about 20 years ago,
he would have got his ass whooped real quick.
He would have got tased, or he would have got shot, and they would have found the gun. See, you have these Antifa type people, white liberal women, white liberals, who wants to put anarchy in the streets.
Yep.
They want division and anarchy. So they are placating to the ignorant of our population.
There you go.
That's what they want. This is what they want. They want police officers being shot because somehow this is a racism. There's a racism. That officer should have shot him. One warning is all you should get.
Yep.
And then you meet the business end of his firearm.
Absolutely. And you can understand why, Jamal, the cops shoot so fast.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? Because they ain't got time to be dealing with this. You giving a lawful command to a person, and they're playing games with your life. Me, yes. I'm not gonna be playing that again. I'm gonna shoot you, Jamal. I'm gonna shoot.
That's why I got 17 bullets.
People need to wake up. If you allow degenerates to dictate your policy, your cities will be overrun with crime, and I'm letting you know that. Degenerates do not like to be held accountable for anything, and they're always looking for somebody to, escape them of personal responsibility, and it's usually their mama. So I'm letting folks know, please, oh please, you have to use common sense with these laws here. This black police officer, in my eyes, might have fell victim to this color crap. You get what I'm saying, Jamal? But I believe if it was a white officer, he might have pulled out that gun a little bit faster. You get what I'm saying, Jamal? Because they're apprehensive about these type of Negroes. The black police officer might have tried to, work with him a little bit longer because of the influence in the media. And I think that's what got him caught up. And I want to tell black folks something. You got to get over color. You got to get over it, because there's black folks, plenty of them, we call them liberals, who use their color to trick you. They don't care about the color. Color is, ladies and gentlemen, is something that is dumb to run your mouth about. Let me tell you. Last words on this here, Jamal.
This officer got shot. I'm glad he's alive. But this is what happens when you put your color before the uniform. When you are a police officer, you are a police officer first, black man second.
Yep.
Let me say this right now. When you are a police officer first, black man second, you handle him as a dangerous suspect. And when that dangerous suspect does not comply with the first or second command, you put them on the ground.
Period. Period.
End of day. And what sound like, I'm gonna be honest, sound like this officer being he's black. He's like, I understand, brother. Come on, bro. Come on.
Yeah,
man.
that's what I'm talking about.
And he got shot in the neck for. He could have died. I bet you he won't be that way no more. I bet you when he get out there on patrols from now on, those white brothers that are police officers, those are your brothers.
Yep.
That Asian guy who's a police officer, that's your brothers. That Latino dude that's a police officer, you know me, Lord, that's my brother, man. That's your brother. That police officer, that one who wear that blue shield, that one that wear that blue uniform or that brown khaki suit because he's a sheriff deputy. Color is the uniform. That's what matters.
Exactly. And that's what I believe the reason why he took so long to pull it up, because he seen him, he was trying to work with him, and he ended up almost losing his life. And Latinos will tell you the same thing. They run with the color. Hey, I'm Hispanic, you Hispanic too, I'm Puerto Rican, you're Puerto Rican too, and the Puerto Rican brother rob ya. The Puerto Rican brother shoot ya. You know what I'm saying? So you cannot use color as a gauge of morality, as a gauge of some sort of camaraderie. All right? That's a fallacy. And it's being pushed in this nation so that they can divide the nation. It's point blank, period. It's that simple. And I wish people would understand this. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys do me a favor. Hit that like button. Make sure you share. All right. I need your help. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to my guy, Raymond Reichart. Raymond Reichart just donated here. And what Raymond Reichart says, and he got a message for you, Jamal. He says, I'm with Jamal in the Got a Little Weight Problem Club. Absolutely. Shout out to Raymond Reichart. And the thing is about being a guy, you can see how guys are honest about, hey, I'm a fat guy, I'm a big guy, I have a little bit of a weight problem. Guys are honest about that, and they're not insecure about it. I want folks to understand this, right? If there were women, you'd be saying, hey, no body shaming. There's virtue in honesty.
Knowing she look like or worse, Jermain. Girl, you look good in that. Knowing she like a can of biscuits about to bust.
Absolutely.
Like when you drop the biscuits drop the can of biscuits on the ground and it bouncing, it busts open. All that fat hanging all off out of there. Girl, go put some clothes on. You know that outfit is not for you.
You know it. Walking around looking like a Maytag washer. Looking like an appliance. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, it's crazy out there. So I'm just letting the women know. All the insecurity that you hear, all the body shaming, the fat shaming, they put in fat girls on swimsuit covers, right? I forgot what Swimsuit USA or something put some big woman on there. She was huge. Never been on the swimsuit cover before, but they did it, ladies and gentlemen, because of the insecurity that most women have. And I want women to understand, nobody pushed this insecurity. It's you guys. You guys are insecure about yourself. You put out the images, and then you're insecure. And then you go run around and act as if everybody's insecure like y'all. No. And I want the women to understand, that's something that nobody speaks about, and it's something that is destroying our nation. That's why we live in a nanny state. You can't say nothing, right? Everything about feelings. Wake up. Moving forward, I want to go ahead, ladies and gentlemen, and speak about the Detroit Zoo. The Detroit Zoo right now is doing something crazy. Hold on. Something crazy. They are vaccinating their animals. I kid you not. Apparently animals are getting COVID-19. Man, I mean, this is wild. Let me go ahead and run it. When it come back, I want to get your take on it. COVID-19, vaccinating animals. What is next here?
Well, it's not just humans getting the shot in Metro Detroit. Now the Detroit Zoo is vaccinating animals for COVID.
It's a special vaccine for animals, and it's going to the ones most vulnerable for catching the virus. Victor Williams is live at the zoo tonight with the animals that are first in line to get their dose. Hey, Victor.
Yes, guys. Hey, you cannot forget about our furry friends. And with that being said, the vaccine is making its way all across the world. They did not want to forget about the animals here at the Detroit Zoo, and they wanted to make sure they did not contract the virus.
It would be harder for us to care for a tiger or a gorilla that developed serious symptoms from coronavirus.
Detroit Zoological Society Director of Animal Health, Dr. Ann Duncan, says the Detroit Zoological Society has officially started to vaccinate the animals most likely to contract the COVID-19 virus.
We do everything that we can to protect the health and enhance the welfare of the animals at the zoo.
However, don't expect these creatures to receive the exact same vaccine that humans receive. This dose was specifically designed by the veteran pharmaceutical company Zoetis.
We're not using human vaccine. We're not using a vaccine that is being taken away from another population of animals. It's developed only for zoo animals.
The first ones to receive the revolutionary vaccine so far are about 20 of the most popular animals at the zoo: tigers, lions, gorillas, chimpanzees, and even sea otters.
We put together a list of the animals that were susceptible that live here at the zoo, and then they worked with the USDA and the state veterinarians to get approval for us to use this vaccine.
While there have been no animal COVID cases at the Detroit Zoo, the keyword and the purpose for these animals receiving the vaccine is prevention, as sadly several animals have already contracted the virus across the country.
This vaccine provides another layer of protection.
And the North American river otters, along with several other animals, are going to be the next to receive the vaccine as soon as next week. Victor Williams, Local 4.
So there you go, Jamal. The vaccine look like it's going to the baby otters. You know, the baby otters about to get it. Mr. Tiger, Mr. Bear. They're about to get it as well. What do you think? Have we reached clown world right now?
You ever seen? Okay, I'm gonna tell you my age real quick. There used to be a cartoon out called Transformers. I love the Transformers growing up. Then they brought them back out to something called Beast Wars. These animals gonna be transforming.
Transformer.
Oh God, they gonna sit here and kill these animals.
Your eyes.
Oh God, they gonna sit here. Why in the world are you giving animals COVID shots?
There you go.
Come on, these people are really getting some money.
I'm telling you,
getting money like it's crazy. That RC just put all the money, put these money bags. RC so correct. This is about $1.
Yeah. And you know who they're finessing? The white liberals. Hey. You see these animals here? They could all die of COVID. Yeah, they can. You see these ants? While we're stopping, Jamal, at these animals, why not the insects? You get what I'm saying? I'm sure the ants and the caterpillars need COVID shots too, don't they? Don't they got insect COVID vaccines?
What you gonna have? Okay, see, Jermain, see, you trying to be funny. They gonna start. You know what? They gonna start injecting mosquitoes with COVID vaccine, so they can land on people and stick them.
I'm telling you, it's the most craziest nonsense in the world. That's why I said, where does the buck stop? Okay, the animals and the insects. What else? You get what I'm saying? These people are nuts. They're crazy. But Jamal, I want to show you another video here that goes along with this, all right? A lot of people across this nation right now are very upset with their school districts because they are requiring their children to wear a mask. But this school in Texas is not requiring their children to wear a mask. And there is a parent that is very upset. And she black. She black. She black, Jamal. CNN, the criminal Negro News Network, they went over there and they went to go speak with her. She says she is sending her children into a war zone. I want to go ahead and run this when it comes back. I want to get your take on this. Should we kick mamas out of the school? I think so.
If she living in a project, she can't talk about a war zone. But I'm going to hear her talk.
Here we go.
Some telling new numbers out of Texas this morning, where Governor Greg Abbott is fighting to limit the powers of schools and towns to make decisions on masks. The health department reports that more students tested positive for COVID-19 during 1 week this month than during any week last school year. 4 districts with the most cases do not have any mask requirements. CNN's Rosa Flores talked to some worried parents who want that to change.
Michelle Woodard sends her 8-year-old daughter Kara to school in Humble, Texas in a mask and shield.
I'm sending her to a war zone.
The district doesn't require masks.
I don't understand what kind of community behaves this way. And how can you call yourself a community when you don't care whether or not the people in the community live or die?
Nearly 3 weeks into the school year, Humble ISD reports more than 1,500 students and 300 staff have tested positive for COVID. Despite the growing numbers, parents dropping off their children at school not wearing masks.
It's a personal choice. If you want to do it, do it. If you feel safer doing it, do it by all means.
Everybody in my home, we vaccinated. So right now, the risk is lower.
This is Kara having trouble breathing in February 2020.
It was one of the worst days of my life.
She was hospitalized, Michelle says, most likely from COVID. And while she shared the video with some parents, she says it didn't convince them to mask their children.
This isn't a joke. This isn't politics. This is our kids' health.
Raise your hand if your child has asked you about death regarding COVID.
These moms want a mask mandate at Humble ISD.
I love my kids so much. I'm going to do every layer of protection that I can.
And say their pleas to the district have fallen flat.
I think it's going to take more children dying for them to step up and do something. And that's what is really scary and really frustrating.
We took their concerns to the district.
We're continuing to follow the governor's order, and masks will remain optional at this time.
But you understand why they have that concern, because the district is following a politician versus a medical expert, and all the medical experts say wear masks.
Well, we followed the governor's order last year.
There's no more time for government mandates.
It might be what Governor Greg Abbott wants, but in Harris County, where Humble is located, County Judge Lina Hidalgo says current law is the mask mandate she issued, which has been allowed to stand in Texas courts.
The most powerful tool we have is parents speaking up, is parents recognizing that the law is on their side.
She's burning up, but she's telling me she's cold.
Kara started feeling sick last week and tested positive for COVID.
Nobody in the school community cares about whether she is safe. And all of those thoughts just kind of culminated, and I just felt this rage. This was preventable. This did not have to occur.
Now Kara's in quarantine, a child who did her part and is left paying the consequences, her mother says, of other people's choices.
Wow. And I'm going to stop it right here. So Jamal, you can, ladies and gentlemen, you can see black women can grow their hair. You seen it, right? Jamal, you seen it, right? That black woman had natural, as nappy as it looked, Jamal. As nappy as her hair looked, that was real hair. And I want folks out there to understand, when you see black women wearing weave, I want you to know most of them are lazy. I want you to understand, most of them don't know how to take care of their own hair. Because if this black woman, let me go ahead and show the crowd once more again, because this is a lot of hair. Maybe black women need to contact her and ask her how she grew her hair like this. Okay, because this is real hair. Jamal, in this Criminal News Negro Network interview here, all we saw were mamas. We saw mama. That's it. Do you think that, if mama who's, taking the charge on do you think she's being finessed through her emotions? I mean, where are the guys on it? Where are the husbands? I'm pretty sure if you spoke to most men about a lot of this nonsense, they would be a little bit more logical. What do you think? Mama says she's scared.
You saw one dad and said, here's the thing about mass mandate. Here's the thing about it. If you want to mask your child, you mask your child. That's what that father who was going to the school who said, because there was one daddy, he said, if you wanted to mask, then you had the other black woman who said, hey, I'm vaccinated, take the mask off. But the man, that's the whole thing. If you want to wear a mask, you wear it. The problem is those parents don't like it that the parents is not sending their kids with masks. Their kids complaining, why I gotta wear a mask?
Yep.
Jermain don't. And you scared and terrified, and that child is tired of living your fearful life. That child is sick and tired of your pandemonium, your craziness.
Absolutely. That mama crazy.
Why I gotta wear a mask? Jermain don't. Jermain in class and he don't. And that's what she hate hearing.
Yep. She do. And the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, all you see is they're influencing women. They understand that most women run the household nowadays. They understand this. They know that to get to the children and eventually to the men, you have to get to the women. That's the main reason why they put women on here and they're speaking about Texas schools. I want you guys to understand this is all propaganda. It's all psychology. They're not going to put men on here because men will use logic. There will probably be a guy asking, hey, how many of children have died of COVID?
Thank you.
There would be a man to ask this question because men aren't swayed, ladies and gentlemen, by the finesse game of words. They want to be able to hear you speak. They want to analyze it because guys don't have, most of them, who aren't raised by their mama. I gotta add that. Caveat in there. Do not use emotion as a barometer when they're hearing information. Do you understand? That means using your emotions or, riding with your emotions on your sleeve. You know what I'm talking about. A lot of people live their life like that. The men don't. So when you have the women here, ladies and gentlemen, it's very easy to push them to overreact. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. And one of the best ways to get women to overreact is to speak about their children. Do you understand? Yeah, little Timmy can die. Little Timmy can die. See, you don't understand this COVID thing here. You see this here? Come here, mama. Come and look at this. Yeah, don't worry about the figures and the numbers. I want you to look at this video. You see how they're shaking? Yeah. Don't worry about I don't care if they say 99.9 are surviving. I want you to look at this, mama. Right? That's the way they get you. And I want the women to understand. That's why I want women to be dispassionate a lot of the times. I want them to step back from the nonsense and to critically analyze what they see. Not through emotion, but through the left part of their brain called logic. because there's people out here who understand the female nature, and they want to use your own nature against you to destroy your children and your family. That's the main reason why they push female first. That's the main reason why you don't see the men here. Jamal, how come the men aren't here? Last words.
They actually had, like I said, they had one.
Yeah,
and he
but
was the dad. But the reason why they didn't have a lot more men, because a lot more men believe in the, hey, you have a right to not wear it if you don't.
There you go.
And that's not the message they wanted to do. They wanted to show people of color scared. Look at the little black girl looking out the window.
Hair looking nappy.
Wicked, she wishing she can go. Listen, if you want your child to wear a mask where it is an option, put them on a mask. If you don't want your child to wear one, don't. Same thing with the vaccines. If you want to get vaccinated, by all means, that's your choice. Go ahead and do it. It's not a mark of the beast. It's not a sign of evil. You feel that this is going to protect you. So fine. You do that. Get the vaccine. For the all others who say, my immune system is my vaccine. And that's what I'm going to use. People have to learn that an opinion and an option is that. Some people may have a different opinion. Some people may have another option, but they can't take it. This is why they want the mask mandate, because your child is going to hurt my child.
And that's the easiest way for them to really push this. You know, they know, like, again, I keep saying, most women run the household. They have control of the children. So you're going to appeal to the female. And one thing that I know for certain, if you want to trick women, you want to finesse women, players know this all through and through. Let me tell you, you appeal to their emotion. You get to their ego, right? That's the way you do it. And what you do is you subvert the logic when you do this. And I want women to understand it's that simple. It's that simple. That's why when players talk to you, they're giving you sweet nothings, right? The sweet nothings, ladies and gentlemen, is to make you feel good, give you that emotion so that you don't critically think about what they're saying and what they're doing. Do you understand? It's a tactic that has been working since the beginning of time, and most women need to pick up on it. They do, right? Stop getting finessed by players, because players know how to play you. They play on your emotions. And when women start figuring out that after they get played 3 or 4 times, right, you start getting upset and angry. It's time to get upset and angry, let me tell you. Moving forward, I want to go ahead, brother, and speak about Biden and this kerfuffle, this, Afghanistan fiasco. Right now, there are tons of Gold Star families who are upset at Biden. There are tons of military families who want Biden's head on a stake. There was a father of a Marine that was killed in Kabul who rejected to meet Biden, and he was on Fox and Friends. I want to go ahead and run this. When it comes back, I want to speak about it because he has a lot to say, and I want people to hear this. A lot of the times in our country, Jamal, the military is, pushed under the rug, right? They don't like to, give big ups to the military. They don't like to even speak a lot about the military. But I want people to understand there's less than 1% of people who get into the military. And there's, I believe, less than 3% who are actually eligible to get into the military. I want you to understand that. Eligibility is low in this country to get into the military. When we speak about height, weight, when we speak about, ladies and gentlemen, what's going on with your physical fitness, right?
Black
your
feet.
health. A lot of people, let me tell you, are disqualified, right?
Flat feet.
You know what I'm talking about. They have heart murmurs they don't even know about. Military disqualify you. So less than 3% of the population, ladies and gentlemen, is qualified to be in the military. And less than 1% serve. So you're talking about really, Jamal, we're talking about really the best of the best.
Yep.
We are. Let me go ahead and run this when it comes back. I want to speak about this. You're a former Marine. I'm pretty sure this will hit home for you. Here we go.
Wow. Okay, we'll talk about that later, but now this. Remembering our fallen heroes, 20-year-old Marine Corps Lance Corporal Riley McCollum was on his first deployment when he was killed in Kabul last week. Riley knew he wanted to be a Marine since he could walk, carrying around his rifle in his diapers. He got married earlier this year and leaves behind his wife, Gianna, who was pregnant and due to give birth to his first child in just 3 weeks. Here to honor Riley's memory is his dad, Jim, along with his sisters, Royce and Cheyenne. Guys, so sorry for what has happened. Appreciate you talking. American people care so much, especially about those who serve. And I want to talk first about Riley. What was he like? Royce, start if you would, and then Cheyenne and Jim.
Riley was the funniest kid you ever met. He just had such a great sense of humor and was always cracking jokes and making everyone around him laugh. And he was just loved so much and made everyone else just love.
Yeah, he was the light in everybody's life when they needed it. He was a gold-hearted kid, and he very much put everybody else before himself. Even people he didn't know well, if they had a hard day, he was the one beside them and wanted to make things better.
Yeah, what they said, he had a heart of gold, good kid, always wanted to stand on the side of right. He wanted to do the right thing no matter what. He always was seeking justice for those that he thought weren't getting it. Yeah, good kid, proud of him.
Jim, where did the passion for the Marines come from?
I wanted to be a Marine, but medically I was disqualified, and it was just something we talked about as he grew up over the years, and then it just kind of evolved and developed, and he wanted to do something to make me proud. He didn't know how proud of him I was, and it just kind of it evolved from there. And on his 18th birthday, he joined, he enlisted, and to make me proud, and it was a passion that he had. He wanted to do something bigger than himself.
Wow, man, he grew up quick. Marries Gianna, child on the way. Cheyenne, what was his reaction when he heard about his deployment? Do you know?
He wasn't scared at all. I think he was ready. I don't want to say he was excited, but we knew it was coming, and when we got the official word, he actually was supposed to deploy in October, and then that was postponed and pushed to the April deployment when he actually left. So he had the time to prepare and get ready and spend the time with his wife, and I think he was ready to go. He knew what he was getting into, and that's what he signed in for, and he was ready to serve his country.
Wow. Royce, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Was getting deployed to Jordan originally, and so he was there and not in Afghanistan, so tension wasn't high. It was supposed to be a pretty easy deployment in Jordan, and yeah, it wasn't a super stressful message for any of us at that time.
when all the 13 came back and there's 18 struggling for their lives now in Germany, and the whole world stopped and was transfixed, even though it was a weekend afternoon to watch. I couldn't imagine what it was like for you, Jim. Afterwards or before, I'm sorry for not knowing. I know you met with the president. What was that like?
I actually declined the meeting with the president. We went to a different room. When he came, we went to a separate room. I had no desire to meet with the president.
Why?
The way he has handled this, everything he's done, every step along the way has been absolutely backwards. And I don't understand the process of how they came to the decisions that they made. A high school kid could make better decisions than they've made in this. They have fumbled the ball every step of the way.
And go ahead, Royce, you did, right?
My sister Cheyenne did.
Royce and my dad chose to leave the room. I chose to stay with my brother's wife. She wanted the chance to look him in the eye and see if it was going to be a sincere conversation or apology. And I was able to stand about 15 seconds of his fake scripted apology, and I had to walk away.
I heard he talked about his son, and he talked about the service. What made you feel like it was fake?
He would not look us in the eye. There was not an ounce of sympathy looking at his face. It was he tapped her on the knee and said, "I know what you're going through. I lost my son."
It was more about his son. My son wasn't mentioned. It was his son and about him, and nothing to do with the 13.
He actually, I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, he stayed with Riley's wife after I walked away for maybe a minute more. He talked to every other family for about 10 minutes, if not more, and we got maybe 3 tops.
How's Gianna doing, Jim?
The girl is so strong. She obviously she's heartbroken. She's confused. She's devastated. She's trying to process this. Again, I love that girl so much, and I could not be more proud of her and how she has handled this at such a young age. She is a rock. She is going to be a wonderful mother. She loved Riley so much. She's doing well. She's back at Camp Pendleton. We're going to give her some time, let her have the baby, let her get settled a little bit, and then we will have a celebration of life for Riley somewhere down the road. We miss her as soon as we had to leave her yesterday. There's a hole in our heart wanting to be with her. We're missing my son all over again by not being able to be with her. She's the piece that brings us all together now.
You guys got real close, real quick. Is there anything any of you need? Cheyenne, is there anything people watching right now? You got millions of people watching. The minute this happened, we don't think about numbers. We don't think about uniforms. We think about people and families. Anything, Royce, do you guys need that people at home could help you with?
The outpour of just love from complete strangers and the help that we've received from the community has been amazing. I couldn't have asked for more. I was blown away just by the number of people that have reached out, even just to say, we're so sorry for your loss, all the way to, your brother's the reason I didn't quit boot camp, and I'm so glad that I had the chance to meet him. So yeah, it's been amazing. The stories that we get from people that knew him, pictures and videos, that's just kind of keeping him alive and showing us parts of him that we hadn't seen before, and we love it.
Yeah, and Cheyenne, 100
to Riley McCollum's family. Lance Corporal Riley McCollum. I believe he's a E4.
Lance is E3.
Is it an E3? In the Marines, is it E3? I know E4 in the Army.
No. A lance corporal and a regular corporal are two different
Oh,
things.
yep.
A lance corporal's like a private first class.
Yep, you're
Because
absolutely right.
If you look at Marine rank, nothing.
But that's
is
Marine rank
E1.
though.
Then they go private first class with just one stripe. We go private E2.
Okay.
Once they get the swords crossing under their chevron, that's a lance corporal. Then we get a teardrop for private first class. Then our E4 is a corporal. Then there's a corporal, or we get specialists.
We got specialists and corporals
from E1 to E4.
Yeah, but lance corporal in the army, you're hardly gonna hear that. That's like a rarity. But you'll hear a corporal though.
You'll hear and that's one thing about the Marines. They pride themselves on their rank. You will hear lance corporal.
Yeah.
You won't hear them say corporal because an E4 corporal carries a lot of responsibilities. A non-commissioned officer. So just real quick,
just like a specialist.
Yeah. No, specialist ain't nothing.
Specialist, we love you. Specialist got is the backbone of the army.
A full bird private, because they got. Oh, you know what we used to call them, Jermain? Sham shields. Got that sham shield. A specialist got that sham shield.
I know exactly what you're talking. Ladies and gentlemen, so what do you think about this here, brother? They're saying that Biden couldn't even look them in the eyes. The family right here is distraught by even the behavior. I mean, what do you think?
You won't see these people on CNN or MSNBC. The only ones you're going to hear them talk to is how much they love Biden. That's all you're going to see. Because today, I want everybody to remember the Democrats, if there were any, who came out and spoke out against Joe Biden and what he did. Because for the past few months, you're going to hear how great it was.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to hear about people dying because the Taliban is not going to allow video of people being beheaded, shot, burnt alive, and killed. When you deal with what happened to their child that grieves because they lost their son, even though he died the most honorable way, fighting for his country. But this is why I got on MAGA. This is why I got on MAGA, Dad. This is why I'm wearing the hat, Make America Great Again. Because America days of everything President Trump did is gone.
It is.
Joe Biden has taken us back to pre-Trump days.
Yep.
Matter of fact, this
Even
is
worse.
the beginning of the third term. This is the beginning of the third term Barack Obama. Barack Obama wanted to destroy the nation. And people ask me, well, Jamal, what has got to do with the family grieving? Barack Obama didn't care about dead soldiers.
He didn't at all.
Remember when they met the family of the Benghazi people who passed away?
Yep.
How cold and callous Hillary Clinton was.
Oh,
and
of
Barack
course.
Obama.
They hate the folks in the military. They hate them.
That's the thing. That's the I'm not surprised. Joe Biden is disgusting. He's an incompetent. He's an incompetent moron. He's a senile old fool.
He is. And these people here, they don't have any respect for the military at all. Now, he spoke about how, I should say, Royce McCullum, which is the sister of Lance Corporal Riley McCullum, she is saying that all Biden was speaking about was his son, right? He lost his son. Apparently his son was, I don't know if he was in the Air Force or in the Navy, but apparently his son was in the military and he lost his son. And,
he lost his son after. You talking about Bo Biden?
Yeah, Bo Biden.
He lost Bo after he got out of the military of a severe brain disease.
Okay,
but you know what his son? You know his son Hunter?
Uh-huh.
You know why his son Hunter ain't in the Navy,
I know
right?
why. Yup, he got caught. He got caught with cocaine in the system.
To keep him down.
Absolutely. So, Beau Biden, he died of a brain aneurysm, is what you're saying?
Yes, a severe brain aneurysm.
So the way he's trying to make it seem as if he lost his son in the battle. Do you know what I'm saying? In a war.
Uh-huh.
But really, it's not the same at all. The man was really trying to pull a finesse game. To be honest, Jamal, it was a finesse game what he was running. That don't even make sense. So I understand why he couldn't look at these folks in the eye. Because when you're lying like this, when you don't have real, true compassion, you'll do stuff like this. The man did not care about the troops at all. And most Democrats, Jamal, as you know, don't care about the troops. They don't at all. They don't care about the military. So it's quite a shame. A lot of service members are upset about this. I don't see any way of him coming back. Last words before we move on.
He's gonna come back because the news media is not gonna talk about it. The news media gonna throw this under the rug. The news media now is in full. This was a good evacuation.
Yep,
and they're
that's what they said too.
Over and over and
Ridiculous.
over. This was a good evacuation. He got 100,000. They're always talking about what he did. It's like, Jermain, if I took your car and wrecked it, but then I can't all of a sudden I start buffing the wrecked car. Like, wow, Jamal sure buffed Jermaine's car good. Yeah, Jermain, why are you complaining about Jamal buffing? He buffed your car.
Yep.
Jamal just wrecked my car. Jermain, stop complaining. So this is what this is all about. Joe Biden's a disgrace. And for those who voted for him,
he is.
And you still lying, you're a disgrace too.
He's a disgrace and he's a bald-faced liar. I believe he needs to, like I said, he killed these children. He need to be tried for war crimes. Moving forward, make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you share. The GOP came out today and have a stern message for Trump. Hopefully they act, right, with all these stern messages here. Mm-hmm. They are saying that Biden has armed the Taliban with $85 million worth of American weapons.
It's more than that.
This is what billions. I know it's more than what they're saying. And they're saying that he also killed children. Take a look.
My job there was as a foreign military sales officer. So I was on the front lines of acquiring the equipment that the Americans provided and turned over to the Afghan army and the Afghan police. I'm going to read to you what is so painful for me and so many other Afghan veterans who served in that capacity and others who served as a part of the train, advise, and assist, equip effort in helping the Afghans. We now know that due to the negligence of this administration, the Taliban now has access to over $85 billion worth of American military equipment. That includes 75,000 vehicles, over 200 airplanes and helicopters, over 600,000 small arms and light weapons. The Taliban now has more Black Hawk helicopters than 85% of the countries in the world. But they don't just have weapons. They also have night vision goggles, body armor, medical supplies, and unfathomable to me and so many others is that the Taliban now has biometric devices, which have the fingerprints, eye scans, and the biographical information of the Afghans who helped us over the last 20 years. And here's what we just learned again in the briefing that we just walked out of. Is this administration still has no plan to get this military equipment or these supplies back.
is incredibly hard to hear, and the thing is, she's right. Their ties to al-Qaeda only appear to be deepening, and they're now even better armed. The Afghan forces fell so quickly, they left behind brand new boxes of guns and grenade launchers, which Taliban fighters have been filming themselves opening in the world's grimmest unboxing videos. Incidents which led to this exchange.
What happens to the billions of dollars worth of weaponry that the U.S. gave Afghanistan?
We don't have a complete picture, obviously, of where every article of defense materials has gone, but certainly a fair amount of it has fallen into the hands of the Taliban. And obviously, we don't have a sense that they are going to readily hand it over to us at the airport.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty safe assumption. But hey, we could always text the Taliban complaint department and see what happens. I'm sure we'll be dealt with swiftly. So here we are, 20 years of war and destruction, tens of thousands of Afghans killed, many more traumatized, and the overall sense that you have at this point is of deep betrayal. Over 71,000 Afghan and Pakistani civilians are estimated to have died as a direct result of this war, with many more injured or displaced. As for our program of drone strikes, they didn't just kill civilians, they traumatized an entire generation.
The villagers call them planes without men. Jermain says his 9-year-old son Suleiman was killed by a drone 3 months ago, along with the fathers of all of these children.
I'm scared they'll bomb us. They killed my father, and I'm afraid they'll bomb us too.
I can't walk outside my home because I'm scared. I'm even scared at home.
Yeah, it's terrible, particularly for women who had suffered terribly under the previous Taliban regime. Millions of girls were allowed to attend school for the first time, and women joined the military, the police, and held political office. But those achievements are in real jeopardy now. And some who led the way, like Mahbouba Siraj, an Afghan women's activist, are acutely aware of that fact.
I'm going to say to the whole world, shame on you. Are you using all of us? Are we being just the pawns in your hands? Is that what it is? I don't understand it. They just made decisions.
Right here. So, Jamal, I let it run here a bit because John Oliver had a lot of good points here about all the progress they did make and how all of it was lost. What do you truly think about this? $85 million of military equipment. You know, they're showing unboxing videos. Taliban got some good videos out. You know that right now? I mean, very good quality of the videos, like 4K. You know, you get what I'm saying? Production up there. What do you think?
Well, one, John Oliver, I'm not a fan of John Oliver.
I know.
Because John
not a lot
Oliver
of folks.
noticed how he didn't mention soldiers die. He mentioned Afghans.
Yeah.
He didn't mention the soldiers. You know, he's talking about the progress Afghanistan made, women voting and all this different,
he's
stuff.
doing the liberal bit.
But
the only thing I brought him up for was just you know just the history.
I understand.
Yeah.
But the only thing he done, but he didn't mention the soldiers who fought and died so they could get this.
Yep.
But he's telling the truth, except that it's over 85 million. This is in the billions, this type of stuff they left behind. The armored Humvees alone is more than $1 million. And they left over 1,000 some Humvees. And they left heavy troop carriers.
Yep.
The Taliban right now, Jermain, is more technically advanced militarily than the North Koreans. Yes, the North Koreans do have a nuke. But when it comes to your standard ground and pound army, the Taliban is more advanced than North Korea. They are equal to Saudi Arabia. This is what Joe Biden failure has done. He has diminished us and brought another nation up. And this has hit us. This has hit us like a ton of bricks. Jermain, it has hit us. It is not good. What this guy did, Joe Biden, this incompetent, senile, old fool, he just destroyed it.
He is. He has really made this nation a very, very, very dangerous one right now because of the terrorists, I believe, that are coming in through this Afghan refugee program that they're trying to do. A lot of fighting age men are coming through this Afghan refugee. You know the Afghan refugee program, right?
Mm.
Yeah, it's all across America. I'm telling you, Jamal, it's the perfect way to sneak folks in. The perfect way. And the Biden administration, you can't trust them. They're so incompetent. You just cannot trust them. You cannot. Now, I want to show you why you cannot trust them. Laura Ingraham, ladies and gentlemen, is speaking about the drone attack that the Biden administration lied about. When it comes back, I want to get your take on this, Jamal. Why would they lie about this drone attack here? They say that they killed ISIS-K members, but they didn't. They killed women and children. Here we go.
Significant secondary explosions from the targeted vehicle indicated the presence of a substantial amount of explosive material. We are aware of reports of civilian casualties, and we take these reports very seriously, and we are continuing to assess the situation.
We take steps from the United States to avoid civilian casualties in every scenario, and probably more than almost any country in the world. I can't speak to or confirm the numbers or cases of civilian casualties in this case.
She can't, but the New York Times is reporting that 10 civilians, including 7 children, were killed by a drone strike in Kabul. Now, the Biden Pentagon assures us that this strike and others neutralized ISIS-K terrorists, who they, of course, can't tell us anything about or identify. So what's going on here? Joining us now is independent journalist Glenn Greenwald. Glenn, no one in the media seems too concerned about what looks like to be another intelligence failure. Why is that?
It's pretty bizarre. I mean, right from the beginning, there was a huge question lurking, at least for me, which is, a month ago, Joe Biden assured everybody that there was very little chance that the Taliban would overrun the Afghan National Security Forces and would take over the country. Of course, that's exactly what happened 5 weeks after he gave that assurance, which seems to suggest that if they weren't lying, they know very little about what's happening in this country we've been occupying for 20 years. And then suddenly we're told that they were able, with pinpoint precision, twice in a row, to identify the location of 2 different ISIS-K planners or plotters or commanders, which seems very inconsistent with the fact that they seem to have no idea what's going on in this country. They wouldn't give us the names of who these supposedly important people were, and they just asserted that there were no civilian casualties. And unlike in the Trump years, when all these media outlets love to say Trump says this with no evidence, Trump falsely claims, all their skepticism evaporated overnight, and they just repeated the fact that we got our target, there were no civilian casualties, and there was never any evidence for it and no questioning of it at all.
Well, the Pentagon is just, they're not going to release the names, the identities of these terrorists. And it doesn't look like we're going to learn much more about it than we already have. Watch.
There'll probably be a time when we can talk to you about the names. That's not the time right now. We are still dealing with, as we saw from last night's rocket attacks, very real, ongoing threats. And I think we're doing what we believe to be the prudent thing with respect to the release of information. We're giving you as much as we can in as close to real time as we can, but we're not going to be able to give you everything.
Glenn, this is the new trick. They say, well, now's not the time. Now's not the time to demand accountability. Now's not the time to ask questions. Now's not the time to give us any identities. But the fact is, it's never a good time.
Look, this is one of the most major national security events, obviously, in the last decade or two, if not in our lifetimes, people have different opinions about whether we should have left or shouldn't, how we should have done it. But we all have the right to know what actually is going on, what happened in Afghanistan. And remember, the media during the Trump years made a big flamboyant showing of the importance of transparency. The Washington Post actually adopted a motto specifically for the Trump era that read, "Democracy dies in darkness." And so here's John Kirby, the Pentagon spokesperson, telling you that you have to believe them when they tell you that they killed really important people involved in these attacks, but you can't even know who these people are. Why not? Why can't we know that? We're just being asked to accept their word on blind faith. And every time this happens, Laura, where, you go and you kill an entire family, just wipe them off the face of the planet, young children, it isn't that anybody questions whether or not we had the right to do a retaliatory strike after that hideous attack in Kabul. Of course we did. But every time that happens, it generates so much anti-American hatred and anti-American sentiment around the world. We need to know, at the very least, whether it was actually a legitimate strike or whether it was just something that was done for Biden to get rid of a bad news cycle and to prevent people from saying that he's weak. And the lack of interest on the part of the media is amazing in that.
Well, there's a lot of kids. There's a lot of kids who are dead, and I think we should know whether a drone strike actually killed them. It's a basic question. Glenn, thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here.
So, Jamal, one thing that this guy brought up that was very important was the reason of this drone strike. Was it so that Biden could look like he wasn't weak? And they just decided to do it anywhere, and they killed these women and children. What do you think about this here?
This was nothing more than a botched, I got a good look good strike. They killed the family because probably one of the terrorists was someone who was close to him.
Yeah.
But they killed the family. Now, for the kids who talk about, so I remember the plane came from this guy and bombed me and killed like that day. Now, how many of them kids they were talking to, daddy had an AK in his hand and was trying to take out Americans? Because you notice, so that's I just had to get back on that real quick about the other kids talking about how they killed it. But when here, yes, I do believe they screwed up so bad that they hit a civilian target. And I will be honest, by accident, but they're by
accident, but they should have at least been honest.
Yep.
And the thing is, go ahead.
Oh, that crap over the horizon, which they're gonna try to do, sending planes 20 hours away. They think that's gonna work. So that's why this is just crazy.
This guy brought up anti-American sentiment. That's very good that he brought that up because Joe Biden is bringing anti-American sentiment. When Trump was in office, everybody and their mama wanted to be an American. They loved Trump. Other people in different countries, Jamal, dressed up to be Trump. You get what I'm saying? Nobody dresses up to be Biden. Biden's bringing anti-American sentiment by killing innocent civilians.
Yep, that's what he did.
And then our media is so retarded, they won't even question him. They won't even speak about it. It's to me, that's just crazy to me. It is. I don't know how you can sleep at night. Now, Jamal, I want to go ahead and run you a press conference with Mr. Biden. Mr. Biden came out today once more again, ran his slow lips. His lips got really slow, let me tell you. I want to go ahead and see if you believe this man is sincere. He speaks about the soldiers who were killed, all right? And he speaks about the end of the Afghanistan war, saying that people who fought in it were selfless and showed courage of service. Here we go.
The extraordinary success of this mission was due to the incredible skill, bravery, and selfless courage of the United States military and our diplomats and intelligence professionals. For weeks, they risked their lives to get American citizens, Afghans who helped us, citizens of our allies and partners and others on board planes and out of the country. And they did it facing a crush of enormous crowds seeking to leave the country. And they did it knowing ISIS-K terrorists, sworn enemies of the Taliban, were lurking in the midst of those crowds. And still, the women and men of the United States military, our diplomatic corps, and intelligence professionals did their job and did it well, risking their lives, not for professional gains, but to serve others, not in a mission of war, but in a mission of mercy. 20 service members were wounded in the service of this mission. 13 heroes gave their lives. I was just at Dover Air Force Base for the dignified transfer. We owe them and their families a debt of gratitude we can never repay, but we should never, ever, ever forget. In April, I made a decision to end this war. As part of that decision, we set the date of August 31st for American troops to withdraw. The assumption was that more than 300,000 Afghan national security forces that we had trained over the past 2 decades and equipped would be a strong adversary in their civil wars with the Taliban. That assumption that the Afghan government would be able to hold on for a period of time beyond military drawdown turned out not to be accurate. But I still instructed our national security team to prepare for every eventuality, even that one. And that's what we did. So we were ready when the Afghan security forces, after 2 decades of fighting for their country and losing thousands of their own, did not hold on as long as anyone expected. We were ready when they and the people of Afghanistan watched their own government collapse and their president flee amid the corruption and malfeasance, handing over the country to their enemy, the Taliban, and significantly increasing the risk to U.S. personnel and our allies. As a result, to safely extract American citizens before August 31st, as well as embassy personnel, allies and partners, and those Afghans who had worked with us and fought alongside of us for 20 years, I had authorized 6,000 troops, American troops, to Kabul to help secure the airport. As General McKenzie said, this is the way the mission was designed. It was designed to operate under severe stress and attack, and that's what it did.
Wow. So, Jamal, he's saying, why are you looking at him? This is basically what he's saying. He's saying, hey, this mission was built like that. It was supposed to go this way. Ain't no way around it. You know, mission gosh darn complete. What do you think?
This was an absolute disgrace. He sat there blaming everybody instead of himself. See, here's the thing, and here's what people have to take notice. Just because you say the buck stops with me, the buck stops with me, but you're still listing people off to blame. Well, the buck stopped with me, but don't forget Trump. The buck stopped with me, and don't forget the people that's over there because we told them to leave. The buck stopped with me. Joe Biden did not take any responsibility.
No.
He blamed it on others. Like I said, every time he said the buck stopped with me, he done blamed 38 people. The buck stops with me. But Donald Trump is the one that did this bad deal.
He loves saying
and
that.
I blame President Trump. But, you know, when I came in office, I came reversing all Donald Trump ledgers, all Donald Trump executive orders and everything else Donald Trump did, I reversed. but I didn't reverse this. If he felt this idea was so bad, well, he just dropped it on my lap. You became president the 21st of January. So, yes, it all drops on your lap. This is a disgrace. Joe Biden is a disgrace. Simple and plain. A disgrace.
Simple. And I mean, it really blows my mind, Jamal, that this man can act and behave in this manner. He said it was designed to go this way. That's what blew me away. I was like, it was designed for y'all to leave all this gear here, right? It was designed. He deserved to be carted away for that statement. Seriously, Jamal.
Because they don't want Kamala Harris. You know, people have to understand. They don't want Kamala Harris. Let me say this again. They don't want Kamala Harris. She's a horrible candidate. If they get her, they want to drag her out after the midterms. They won't drag her out before because independents don't like her. And then you're going to tie her to the midterms. And Democrats are already flaming right now, crashing.
Biden yesterday did a press conference with FEMA. He got into a little bit of hot water for his statement when he was bringing up his black senior advisor. He called him a boy. I want to go ahead and run this when I come back. I want to speak about this. Will this be the straw that broke the camel's back for people of color and idiots around the world to see that, hey, maybe this man, maybe he's a racist? Here we go. Make sure you share.
Good afternoon, everybody. We're waiting for a few more people to get on, but we're going to get started, if that's okay with you all. And thanks for joining me. I'm here. The FEMA director is on. FEMA Director Criswell, she's on. And I'm here with my senior advisor and boy who knows Louisiana very, very well, man, and New Orleans, and Cedric Richmond. And what I'm going to do is make a brief statement here and then go through and tell you what we're doing, but then hear from all of you if that's okay. I know you're busy as the devil.
I know you're busy as the devil. I know that. I know that's correct, Joe. Jamal, he says that he knows that they're busy like the devil. This man is really slick when he throws these Luciferian lines in there. He know what he's talking about. What do you think about this here? What is your take on the term boy when he's referring to an African American? Have you heard him use the word boy on a white person? You know, one of his white colleagues? Has he ever, say, hey, this is my boy Dick Durbin. This is my boy Pete Buttigieg. Does he use that, or does he reserve that for the darker fellas? What do you think?
Now, if I wanted to blast and take advantage of this politically, yeah, I would say he's old racist. But you know what? Jermaine? Calling somebody a boy is not bad.
I know.
All right. And it's really not. It's really not. So if Jermaine, and it all depends on how you do it. If you say, Jamal, my boy, man, that's my boy, man. Or Jamal, that fella, that boy know what he doing. That boy know him some HVAC.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you over there saying, come here, boy. Boy, let me tell you, boy, let me go down to the gin and get that cotton plucked out, boy. Yeah. That's the difference. It is a difference between and how you use the term. And no, there is nothing wrong with him saying, boy. I'll be the first one to say.
So you think this is a non-starter, right?
This really
because you know there's some conservatives who just want to point it out.
And they should. Hold on. They should. Because if it been a Republican, they would have. So now, I totally agree. I ain't going to get out here and make a video saying Republicans shouldn't be doing that. Some Republicans, they were like, Republicans shouldn't be doing that when Republicans are playing get back.
Yep.
No, the Republicans are playing get back at them. And good. And I hope he get all that pretty blowback and call Rice's. I'm taking a scene from Meet the Clumps. I sure hope he get called Rice.
Yep.
I hope they sit there and find his Klan sheet and everybody hashtag Klan Biden. Oh, that be
Klan Biden. You know, when I look at Joe Biden is a poser.
Yes.
He gets around black folks and then he says, you know what? These Negroes drop their pants. Come here, Martha. Let me drop my pants here a little bit here. That's the way Joe Biden is, right? He'll be in a room full of white folks and act normal. He'll get in a room full of black folks and all of a sudden he got a little black in him. He got a little chocolate in him. All of a sudden now he looking for hot sauce. You get what I'm saying? He come in, hey, where the Hennessy? Where the Hennessy? I know you black folks love Hennessy. Where the Hennessy at, right? He started doing stuff like that, right? He get a little southern twang, you know, a little black twang in there, right? He started throwing out these slang words that he never uses. So he's one of them. You get what I'm saying? And black folks, there's too many of them who are eager to be the Democrats' lapdog. That's why they don't say nothing about this.
Yes.
This is just absolutely crazy in my eyes. He says so many things to put down black Americans, regardless, you know, of the way he said it in a sense. And I know the way he said it. Maybe that's his boy. I doubt it though, right? I doubt Joe Biden hangs out with black folks like that. I doubt it. Even Barack Obama, his black friend, probably his only black friend, didn't even like hanging out with him. So when he calls him my boy or the boy, whatever, I'm telling you, I think it's a finesse game. I think it's a posing move. You know, that's my boy, you know, because black folks, quote unquote, have that culture, and he believes that he can identify with, you know, him as a black man by doing that. Last words here, sir.
Joe Biden is a disgrace. Joe Biden is a fake. He's a phony. He's a fraud. But this right here, I'll be honest, the boy thing, that's not too bad. I'll be honest, because to me, he you know, in the way he used it, because he said that boy really knows this stuff.
Yeah, that's what he did. He said that though.
That's not.
He gave him respect.
Yeah, that's you know. So to my, you know, he didn't say now that boy. Oh, let me tell you, that boy, he knows himself some daggone electricity. No, that's different. And so I don't believe that's one of those you should get him over.
Wow. So that's what it is here, ladies and gentlemen. And guess what? That is our show. I want to thank everybody for coming on in here, hanging out with us. Jamal, I really do appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having me, Jermain.
Audience definitely loves you. Any last words before we depart here, sir?
All right, everyone, if you can, go to themindofjamal.com. Themindofjamal.com. Check out the videos and the blog and stuff I want to do. So sometimes you want to look for me, bam, you can go there. Please, I thank everyone for their kindness and generosity for donating tonight. I thank you. I'm very appreciative. Other than that, everyone be blessed. Have a safe work day. If you are in Louisiana, we'll be praying for you. please, everyone, have a blessed and wonderful night.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank all of you guys for coming on in here, hanging out with me and Jamal. As you guys know, we stream pretty late, and I know a lot of folks have to work early, right? So I always appreciate people who spend time, effort to stay up with us and speak about these topics that are near and dear to our hearts and that are important to our nation. I'll be on tomorrow, same time as usual, 7 p.m. Central, giving you guys a good word. So make sure you guys follow us, keep up with us, all right? I definitely will be there, and you guys should be there as well. Thank you so much, Jamal. Thank you so much, audience.
God
you guys
bless.
Take care, and I'll catch you guys here later for another edition of Conservative Nation. Bye-bye.